¿Qué pasa, mi amigos? It is I, Nima. And today I want to talk about a huge sale that we have at the Nintendo eShop. So many great games to pick up, and I'm only going to highlight a few, like my favorite picks. And these are games that basically if you don't have them, you should get them. Like, it's time. But anyway, guys, before we get into it, I want to say, please hit that like and subscribe button. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who are doing that. It means everything to me. And I also wanted to ask you guys one question. If a game is on a sub service like Xbox Game Pass or something, do you care as much about the review on that or even how well the game is? It's just a question I had while reviewing some of the Xbox Game Pass games recently. Anyway, starting off, I want to go with Lego's DC Villains. I've never played this game, I'm going to be completely honest with you, but I saw that it was like $7.99, and Lego always brings it. They really do. I didn't realize that this game was about 3 to 4 years old, but I'm still excited to check it out. It was like one of the first things I saw, and I just picked it up. I'm like, yeah, that's worth it. It's typically $60 and only $8. You can't go wrong with it. Tons of collectibles, tons of great fun, and great characters. So starting off with the whole line of Final Fantasy games is Final Fantasy VII. Now this is the original game, and it's about 40% off, coming in at $7.99. This is a great game. It's not the graphics of the remaster, but it's still amazing, and it's where Final Fantasy VII started. It's the story of Cloud and his whole team. It's amazing, and for under $10, this game is completely worth it. You've got at least 60 hours of gameplay, and you really can't ask for much more on a handheld system like the Switch. Now, Final Fantasy VIII holds a huge place in my heart. This was my first role-playing game that I ever picked up. A lot of people complain about some of the mechanics in the system, but I have no problem with it. It's a great game. I absolutely love it. A wonderful story as well, and the environments and the equipment, the bosses, the summons, there's so many great things about this game. And coming in at $9.99, you can't go wrong, because there again, you got a game that's hundreds of hours if you want. Final Fantasy IX is the next game, and this game is more traditional, as where Final Fantasy VII and VIII are a little bit more, I don't know, new style is what they said, and Final Fantasy IX going more back to the roots. It's more almost like medieval, and it also being like $10.49 is a great price for it. Again, 50, 60, 70 hours of gameplay there. You can't go wrong. Final Fantasy IX is a wonderful, wonderful game. Now, finishing off the Final Fantasy games is Final Fantasy X. Now, this has the better graphics. This has great story. This has a little bit more wide open themes about it, but it also has some great memes about it as well, if you guys know the laugh moment. But Final Fantasy X is awesome. And coming in at $24.99, it's fantastic. It's regularly $50, and it's basically two games, because you get Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2. To be honest, I haven't played X-2. So another game coming in at half off is Trials of Mana at $24.99, and this game is fantastic. I had so much fun with this game. It's only about a year old. You can play as multiple characters, have multiple storylines. There's so much customization to this game and so much openness to it. It's just a lot of fun. Like, I can honestly say this is a game that if you like RPGs and action RPGs, you're gonna fall in love with it and just enjoy it as much as I did. Now, for me, the Resident Evil series has not been great on the Nintendo Switch. That is until I played Resident Evil Revelations, which is amazing. Now, you can get 1 or 2 at $7.99, which is a fantastic price. These are great games, 8 to 10 hours long. They just feel so wonderful on the Switch. Completely turned my idea about Resident Evil on the Switch, because I had played so many of them and they were not great. But this, I'm actually looking forward to Resident Evil Revelations 3, and for under $10 for a Resident Evil experience, it's worth it. My 2021 game of the year was Monster Hunter Rise, and you got it on sale now for about 34% off. This is a great time to get it if you haven't gotten it. The DLC is going to come out this summer. This game's about to be big again, and you can pick it up for $39.99, which is a great price for an amazing game. There's so much here. We're talking hundreds of hours of games, customization, multiple weapons, collecting. There's just so much here. Have so much fun fighting giant monsters. Oceanhorn 2 is much like a 3D Zelda. It's a lot of fun. This game first came out on Apple, and it was really fun then, but not many people played it because, well, who really had played much on Apple Arcade. But This is a great game, and coming in at $22 for an amazing Zelda clone is fantastic, especially the quality that is involved in this game. It's well worth it, and if you're curious, the first one is actually under $5 right now. XCOM 2 has received a ton of awards for being a tactical RTS kind of game, and it's amazing. I played it on multiple different systems. Now, the Nintendo Switch version does have its problems, but right now, you can pick it up for $4.99, which is an amazing discount. If you have any sort of inkling to pick it up, this would be the time. I've never seen it this low, so it's definitely worth it. Again, there are a few issues, but they fixed a ton of them recently. Another game with just a gigantic price cut is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. This game is regularly $39.99, and you can pick it up for $9.99. It's fantastic. It's a great port. It looks amazing on the Switch. It's a ton of fun. The online experience is there. There's just a lot to enjoy with this game. And for $10, you really can't go wrong with as much gameplay hours and as much content. It's incredibly worth the $10 price tag. So I've personally never played a single Five Nights at Freddy's game, but I just happen to notice that all of them are $4.74 right now. And when I say all of them, I'm not sure if the most recent one is or not. I didn't look that far, but I know there's a ton of them that are under $5 right now. And I just kind of thought, like, I'm going to pick some up and kind of check this series out. It's a good time for anyone else who's kind of just interested in what this game's about. For under $5, you really can't go wrong with any game, but especially one that is renowned as Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's worth it. Don't Starve is a great survival game. Now, this game is a few years old at this point, but it still has the regular price of $19.99, so being able to pick it up for $4.99 right now is well worth the cost. The graphics look great, the gameplay is awesome. It's gonna be difficult, as any survival game is, but this one is one of the classics. A lot of people have amazing things to say about this game, and for $5, you can't really go wrong. And now the final game is Grand Guild. Now this game is regularly $19.99 and it's down to $1.99. This is a tactical RPG game, much like Final Fantasy Tactics or any of those type of games. This game is a lot of fun. I have only played a few hours into it, but I can just say that it's well worth it already at $2, but it does rely on a skill system that is based on cards as well as the RTS experience. But I would just say, like, for $2, it's totally worth it. I'm going to be doing a real review on this game later. But anyway, guys, that's just what I found. There's a bunch more. There's just like so many games. Forager, a bunch. So it's definitely well worth it right now to check out all the games that are on sale. But I definitely appreciate you guys for checking out my channel. And if you have any questions or comments, I'm curious what games you're going to pick up or which ones you're interested in. Leave them down below. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.